You guys know this? Like, I'll leave you guys with one last story. You guys know what Zen masters do when they attain enlightenment? The first thing that they do? Laugh.
What?
Because literally what the Zen tradition teaches you is that none of it is necessary. None of the meditation is necessary. It's all a scam. That's literally what Zen Buddhism teaches. Because we're all already enlightened. And it's all a big meme. Like, I kid you guys not. Like, if you go and study Buddhism, that is what they will tell you. There's no such thing as, like, not being enlightened. We're all enlightened anyway. And it's, like, all just a scam. If people have, studied Buddhism, they'll understand that. But it's bizarre. They even say they're meme lords. Like, Buddha was the original meme lord. He was like the original troll. I'm going to teach you guys a bunch of stuff that's really hard that you never needed anyway. And then his story of enlightenment, you guys know this? So he like meditates for a really long time, and he does all these really hard systems of meditation. He's like, fuck it, I'm done. And then he goes and he sits under a tree and he's like, fuck this shit. And then he becomes enlightened. It's when he abandons everything that he gains his enlightenment. It's like, this is all dumb. Anyway, a lot of good stories about Buddha. Okay, so we've been at...
I do have one thing.
Yeah.
That so, like, the idea of, like, Buddhist teaching is to, like, not take anything too seriously. And, like, the thing that you're kind of telling us is, like, something of the same, like, live in the present, like, what about, like, commitments? And, like, not necessarily commitments to, like, I don't know, like, if you have, like, a family and, like, have kids and, like, you can't always be like, fuck it, we ball. Sometimes you got to be like, okay, like, I need to, like, think about the future of my kid, and, like, that can be, worrisome. Is that, like, a healthy worry?
Good question. So first of all, Buddhism never says don't take things seriously.
Okay.
In fact, it says the opposite. But so like, and that may sound like a contradiction with being a meme lord, but, like, this may sound like a profound statement, but, like, a meme is actually a very serious thing, right? It's, like, actually very profound. But anyway, so to answer your question, so this is where, like, we bring in dharma, right? So dharma, or duty, or responsibility. So this is where a lot of people, like, slip up because they think, like, when I say let's go bitches, that doesn't mean that I get to do whatever I want to. In fact, it means the opposite. So, like, what I would say about, let's say, for example, family attachments and parenthood. So I'm a parent and I have children. So I love my children. I'm attached to my children. I was pretty good at the detachment thing until I had kids. And then actually what I realized, like, oh, this is pretty cool. Because then I realized this is actually part of my karma and this is the next level. Because then what I did is become detached from my attachment. And I kid you guys not. I know this sounds weird. I'd worked so hard to be detached and then I had kids and then I was like, oh, fuck, I'm attached now. All of my detachment has gone down the drain now that I'm, like, loving and investing in my kids. And then one day I was meditating, I started laughing. I was like, isn't that silly? How attached I am to losing my detachment. And so then I was like, fuck it. I'm going to be attached. I'm going to love my kids. So be it. And then it's been fun since then. And I just let myself be invested in them. I let myself be worried. I let myself stay up late at night because one of them has a fever. And what I realized is, like, you actually live life more fully. Like, let yourself be swept away by your family responsibilities. So be it. Like, it makes no difference. Like, you can still live up to your dharma. And I think you should live up to your dharma. And, like, living up to your dharma is simply, it's like taking a test. I'm not saying sit around and do nothing and don't take tests. I'm saying that you guys should go out and you should act. But when I'm raising my kids, I don't get bent out of shape about whether I'm doing a bad job. And now this is important to understand, so hopefully you guys can understand this distinction. I try to do the best that I can, and I don't get bent out of shape about doing a bad job. So I'm not saying absolve yourself of all responsibility. I'm not saying stop trying. Does that make sense? There's an entire gulf between doing the best that you can, and getting bent out of shape. And what you guys do is the opposite. Because y'all get bent out of shape and don't do the best that you can. Y'all see that? So, oddly enough, like, you can commit to your dharma, and this is the power of dharma, is that it flips those around for you. So there are a lot of other things that we haven't talked about today. Dharma's one, ego is one, dissolution of ego. But if you start living your dharma, because then it's about doing the action, right? Like if your family's depending on you, case in point. So like what we see in Alchem is like a sense of dharma. He's like, I've got to do this. This is what I have. This is what I owe myself to take care of myself. And I can't live like this anymore. That's actually, on its deepest level, it's a duty to himself. That he deserves more. And so he's devoting himself to that. Hope that answers your question.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Cool. So I'm spent. I'm sure you guys are too.
Yes.
So I think maybe we'll have to skip meditation for today. Let me just ask you guys real quick. I mean, like, I usually don't talk this much. How do y'all feel about that?
I think it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.